Welcome to my next playthrough series. It's Dungeon Legends. We're going to be going through setup, introduction to the game, and I will be doing a two-player co-op. There's a solo version that uses two players, one deck of cards, but I'm going to do two players with their own deck of cards. Each character comes with their own specific deck of cards, so I thought it would be kind of cool to use two of them. And we've got a lot of setup to do. So the gist of the game is, of course, we're in the magical realm, and they have delved too deep looking for magic stuff called dust, which has different effects in the game. You can activate cards and such using it. It's a resource. And, of course, as we've done that, we've unleashed the monsters in the depths. They are trying to get to the castle, which is here. So there's a track. A deck of cards is going to be pushing its way out here. It's a deck builder, and I will explain everything as we go along. There's lots of iconography. It's not too difficult. In the rule book, there's an entire page devoted to all the icons, all of the characters and everything, and what they do. So that's not a big issue. So for setup, we have a whole bunch of stuff going on here. So let's actually, we're going to take a look at our first two characters. I'm going to be playing with like the knight and the miner, and we're going to go through the setup. But I'm just going to read. It's a 5 scenario campaign, but any scenario can be played in any order. It doesn't matter. It's not hard to do. And so with the gist of that, before we get into the setup, we have a little bit of a chapter 1 heading here, and it's called Fire. And it says, "You boldly descend. You recall Queen Sasha's word, do not fear the darkness, for the light of the moons will always be with you. You pass an ancient gate that was destroyed during the recent attack on the castle by frog-like amphizones." Okay. But now, instead of the hordes of monsters you expected, an ominous silence greets you, as it seems too bright here. Though the openings of various passages you see orange flickering glow, and it's getting hotter. The upper levels of the mine are on fire, and the monsters are lurking in the flames. If you do not extinguish the fire, further progress is impossible. So basically, the first scenario, we need to put out a fire. And so we have the monster deck, a monster event deck, and there's a general monster event deck, which is always 20 cards, and then you add 10 per specific to scenario, and there's 5 of them, and then you give these a shuffle, and we will be pulling those at the end of each of our turns. Lots to kind of go over. All right, let's get to our characters, and then we'll set up the board and possibly have a couple of turns. We'll see how things go. So let's take a look at our first character, the knight. Alright, so taking a look at the knight, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 health, and this is the magical dust. He can have a maximum of 4, and you can see the little icon here, he starts with 1. Now in scenario 1, they each have a bucket. We're trying to put the fire out, so it's either full of water or not full of water. How you fill it up with water will have to do with the scenario location cards, which we're going to set up. Now there's 8 of these. You pick one for each character, and they are all different. And so what I've chosen for the knight is this one, and what these are bonus actions you can take throughout the scenario, and you can only take them once, and you have to take them in this order. So the first time the knight uses it, he can get 2 movement points. Second time he uses it, he can get 2 swords for melee attacking monsters. And the third time he can do a teleport. It's a little whirlwind symbol there. So that's how that works. And you can use them all in the same turn if you want. And also playing cards. He has a 10-card deck, which is unique to him. He's got his little icon up here, a little sword icon, which matches. So he has a 10-card starter deck, unique to him. And we'll be drawing up 5 cards for him once we begin the game. And so there you have it. That's basically it. So he has cards. You can always discard 3 cards to get a basic move, a basic attack, a basic defense, or add 1 dust as well. So that's the knight in a nutshell. Let's take a look now at the miner. And our second character we'll be playing with is the miner. She, of course, has the bucket. She starts with 2 dust and has a total space of dust of 6, but only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hit points. And for her, I've chosen this one. So draw 2 cards, gain 3 dust, and heal all of your wounds. That little arrow on top of the heart symbol means you can heal all of your wounds. Again, usable once per scenario, and you have to go from left to right. So the first time she uses it, she draws 2 cards, then she gets to add 3 dust and heal all wounds. And you can use them all at one time if you want. And of course, yes, we have little standees. They do have little standee bases, but I'm going to be laying them flat. It's easier to see on the game board. All right, let's get the game board set up, and then we'll get into some gameplay. All right, so a couple of things for setting up the game board. There are 4 starter monsters with an S on the bottom of the card, and we just give them a shuffle. And you use 1 starter monster per character, character playing. So we have 2 characters, we have the Knight and the Miner, and you just place down 2 of them in space location 6 and space location 5. So 6 is going to get this one, and I'll explain all the icons and stuff on the cards later. And on the 5, or I guess I do a little bit now. So this broken sword symbol means it ignores the first sword melee attack, and the little jaws, the teeth symbol here, means it will retaliate 1 damage to you when you attack. And of course, shields can block that. It has 3 health. And this little treasure chest icon, this is the reward. So you'd gain a dust and an advanced card. And so that, well, again, we'll get into it. The other 2, of course, not used because we're playing a 2-player game, not a 3 or 4-player. First player is going to start in location 6. The second player will start in location 5, so 3rd, 4th. Our first player is going to be our Knight. So we're going to put our Knight, I'm going to put him a little sideways here. It's easier to move things around. Our Knight's first player and our Miner second player. So we're currently in front of the enemies. Okay, and now we have location cards. There are 6 of them specific to Scenario 1. So these will come in the Scenario 1 little box that you have to put together when you open your game and assemble it. So here we go. So location number 1 is going to be Master of Traps. So what you can do here, it basically gives you the text. You can spend 2 to 5 dust to put a trap that has that strength in an empty trap space. So that's location 1. So our trap spaces, you can see them right here, little trap icons. And you can, if you spend 4 dust, you can put a 4 trap here. And if you have a monster getting pushed from this space to this one, you'll take 4 damage, and likewise this one to this one. So that's how traps work if you want to use the Master of Traps. Our next location is the Ballista. So you can spend 2 of your dust that you've got powered up, roll a 6-sided die. If you roll a 2 or 3, you can use 1 ranged attack, distance of 1 to 5, and ranged attack ignores the broken sword symbol. It also ignores the teeth symbol because they are not close enough to you to retaliate. So that's basically how that Ballista location works. Our 3rd location is going to be Fairy Sanctuary. During setup, put 2 random fairies on top of this card. So we haven't talked about fairies yet. Fairies are these little cute little characters that give you bonuses. And on the location, you can spend 3 dust to draw a card, or you can discard a card, spend a dust to grab a fairy. There we go. That's how that location works. So 2 random fairies. And there's a little icon for random fairies. This one, a little lizard fairy, you can move 2 spaces and use a location twice. So that's 1 fairy available there, and just randomly grab another one. This one is you can ignore the retaliation on an enemy, and you can also ignore the broken sword symbol on an enemy when you spend those fairies. So as you collect fairies, I should mention the Knight only has 1 location. He can only ever have 1 fairy at one time, and our Miner can have 2. Should have explained that. All right, so our 4th location is going to be filling up the Ancient Fountain. So when you're at the Ancient Fountain, you can spend 3 of your dust to fill up your water bucket. And you're going to need a full water bucket, of course, to put out fire. That's going to be the name of the scenario. And our 5th location, then, is the fire location. Now we're playing on a normal game level, so during setup put either 6, 7 for normal, 8 for hard fire tokens on here. So basically this is where the big conflagration is happening, the big fire. We need to keep going back to here with a full bucket of water, put out 1 of the fires, so we'll take 1 of the tokens off, and then as a reward when you get rid of a fire, you can either grab a a fairy, and we'll be setting up 3 fairies right here in a moment, randomly, or you can draw an advanced card, which we haven't seen yet. So that's where the fire is. So I'm going to be doing normal mode. We're putting 7 fire on there, and our final location is an underground lake. You can use 2 movement to fill up your bucket, and that's basically how that works. So we've actually, this should be helping us. Now it's randomly laid out, so we can fill up water here, fill up water here. We have to put out the fire there. If we end your turn on a place that has any fire, you take 1 damage, and you can't block it with a shield. Okay, let's get the fairies set up randomly over here, 3 of them. Alright, so in this location we have 1, 2, 3 random fairies, so we'll just grab them randomly here. The first one, oh, we have, and they're pretty cute little artwork. This one, when you use it, and then when you use a fairy, you discard them and they're out of the game. So this one, I'm going to put them this way so we can actually see them. We can just gain 3 dust for that one. This one here, and the little helmet symbol on these icons means they can be for anybody. So either hero. So this is basically heal 4 wounds and from anyone. So 2 and 2, 1 and 3, however you want to mix it up. And our final one, this one, you can heal all of your wounds and you can gain 1 dust. So that's the 3 that are available. So if we get a reward from putting out some of the fire, either of our characters, whoever puts the fire out, can grab one of those as a reward, or an advanced card. Well, what are the advanced cards? Well, let's take a look at those, because we start with 3 of those available as well. Alright, and the advanced cards are supposed to be, the deck's supposed to be here, and then you put out 1, 2, 3. I don't like that, so I'm just using my little Staples business card holders here. So we have a deck of advanced cards. These are more advanced versions of your basic cards, which you'll see here in a minute as we start playing the game. So we get 3 of these out. So the first one I'm going to explain here. So first one, and these are foil cards. They got a shiny surface on them, kind of cool. So basically they got 2 options. The top option is for free. You can just play. So this would just be healing 2 wounds. Or the bottom option, if you pay a dust, power it up a little bit, you can heal 2 on yourself and 1 on anybody, yourself or someone else. So that's the first one that's available. Second one is draw 1 card, or you can draw 2 cards if you pay a dust. And the third one showing up is you can either have an attack, a melee attack and a shield, or you can power it up, melee attack, shield, and you can travel anywhere you want. And when you play cards, you don't have to use all the icons immediately. They just kind of pool. So if you played this, you could move somewhere, do an attack. You can move somewhere else from another card and then use a shield. It's all cumulative. So there's that. All right, let's draw up our hand for each of our players. And we'll have a turn and you will see how the game plays. Oh, how do you lose the game? Yes, of course. There is a deck of 30 of these cards. Like I mentioned, there's 10 scenario-specific cards, and there are 20 generic cards that will be played in every scenario. If you ever need to draw one of these cards at the end of your turn, and there are none left in the draw pile, you lose the game. If ever one of these monsters, and they get pushed down, ends up going into the castle, which is this space here, you lose the game. So those are the 2 ways to lose. How do we win this scenario? We put out all the fire. As soon as we have all the fire put out, we win. Okay, let's drop our cards for the knight and the miner, and have a couple turns, and we'll see how it works. Alright, so back to camera out a bit. So let's take a look at our knight is our first player. He's currently sitting at the underground lake, which is cool. So 5 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's see what he has for his first hand. And he's got a couple of swords, sword and shield. He's a fighter, obviously, so he's going to have more attack. He's got 1 heal a wound or, so if you see the slash in between, it's either or. So we can either heal 1 or move 1. Another sword, either a shield or a movement. So that's his starting hand. We'll get to him here in a second. And we'll take a look at our miner and see what she has for a starting hand. 3 or 5. Card quality pretty good in this game. And I like the dual layer boards for your player characters. And this is actually like a neoprene, like a mouse type mat comes with the game. Actually, really good quality product. Alright, so she's got 1 attack with her pickaxe, a couple of attacks. She can gain a dust. She has a heal anybody, herself or the knight, and she's got 1 movement and dust. So it looks like she's collecting a lot of dust. this time. Not a lot of movement. So that's going to be her first turn. Okay, whew, all that explanation. We are going to have the knight going first. He is currently at the underground lake. Does he have 2 movement? He actually has 1-2 movement. And we're going to spend the 2 movement right now. These are going to be in his hand for him to fill up his bucket. But that means he won't be able to move anywhere. Sort of. We'll see. You can discard 3 cards to get 1 movement. Now he could also attack the enemy, which we might do. But for right now, he's going to fill up his bucket. So by using 2 movement, he uses his movement, and he's got a full bucket of water. Name of this scenario, put out all the fires. He's only 1 away from the fire. Now he could discard 3 cards to move here, and then put out a fire and gain a reward. Or I think we're going to have him fight this monster just to show you how that works. So he basically can have 1, 2, 3, 4 attack, and you can see this guy has 4 damage he can take before he's annihilated. So this will take him out, and we also have, oh, this is either or. So we can either do 4 attack or 3 attack and 1 shield. He's just going to go ahead and do 4 attack, a little bit reckless, and end up not taking this guy out, but we do have to take 2 wounds now because we took him out, but he did 2 damage in retaliation. Alright, so the knight, pretty tough. He's got 6 health, so he's going to lose 2 immediately. He's filled up his water bucket, took out the enemy at his location. That's the end of everything he could do. So you're going to discard all cards you played or even didn't play at the end of your turn. And then at the end of your turn, you're going to draw one of these cards, and it is each hero loses a shock. The mines tremble as if something shifted deep underground. Stones fall from the ceiling and fissures open beneath your feet. So it's an event card. So both the knight and the miner lose a health. So now the knight is down to half health, and the miner is also going to lose a health. So a discard his cards. He'll drop 5 more for his next hand, which will then end up being this one here: a shield or a dust, a sword, a movement or a dust, and a dust. So there we go. That's his hand for next time. All right. We have the miner lost 1 of her health, so she's gone from 5 health down to 4, and now it's her turn. And of course, I completely forgot that when the knight wiped out the monster, he can get a dust, and he gets an advanced option card. Oops. And the advanced option card goes on top of his deck. So let me retro that a little bit here. So these were the 5 cards he had. I'm going to put, these are the 5 cards he used, I should say. That's his discard pile. This is his draw deck. So we're just going to kind of reshuffle and do this because it would have been randomly shuffled. Because when you get an advanced option card, you put it on top of your deck. And he's going to go ahead and grab this one, which is he can heal 2 for free or pay 1 dust and heal 3, or 2 for himself, 1 for another. That goes on top of his deck. So now his hand for next time. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Already messing things up a little bit. So his hand for next time, of course, the card he just got for taking out the monster, a movement, a shield or a dust, a movement or a dust, and 1 sword. So there we go. That's his hand for next time. Now it's Miner's turn. In the Miner's hand, she has attack, a dust, heal herself, a movement. I think she wants to use a movement because she doesn't want to end her turn in a spot with a fire because she'll take a damage for that. So and she's not going to heal because our knight has healing ability for next turn. So she's going to use this as a movement, and she is going to move, she's going to move 1 space to the left, which is taking her to the ancient fountain, and then she'll spend both of these to give herself 2 dust. So she's at 2 dust, she goes to 4 dust. And then when she's at this location, she's going to use 3 dust to fill up her water bucket. So she spends her 3 dust, 3 of 4, and now they both have full water buckets. And all she's left with is 2 cards that have swords. There's nobody in front of her to attack. So she really can't do much, and she doesn't have 3 cards to discard. So that's it. Now she could spend her special ability at the top and draw 2 cards, but I think we're just going to leave it for now. That's the end of her turn, so she'll discard all of her cards. didn't get any bonus cards or anything. And then we draw one of these cards at the end of the turn. It's another event. Each hero moves one space farther from the castle. Each hero that cannot move loses a toughness. Okay, so basically our miner gets shoved back here to the fairy fountain. Is that what it's called? The fairy sanctuary. And actually this isn't bad. So our knight gets pushed right into where the fire location is, which is actually good for him because he has a full bucket of water. Alright, and our miner then will drop 5 new cards for her next hand. So next time she's got either shield movement, she can give a dust to herself or anyone or the knight, a movement, a sword, or a dust, a shield, or a movement, and that will be her hand for next time. And I'm going to leave it off there for today. So currently we have our knight with a full bucket of water. It's half health, but he's doing okay. He's got a healing card coming up. And we have our miner with 1 damage and 1 dust and a full bucket of water. And I should say the knight also has 2 dust. All right. That's going to wrap us up for today. Of course, when we come back tomorrow, we'll just continue on. So we either get all of the fires put out, there's 7 of them on there, or we run out of cards in this deck, need to draw one, we lose the game, or an enemy gets pushed into the castle, and then we lose the game. So thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for your comments, subscriptions, and likes. This is Dungeon Legends. I'm playing a 2-player co-op game on Campaign Scenario 1. But you can play any of the 5 in any order, and they're all very different, I must say. And I should also mention that there are all these little tuck boxes that you build. So this is our character tuck box for the knight, and it actually shows you what goes in this box for storage. So actually pretty cool how they've done that. Alright, that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll join me tomorrow for the continuation Dungeon Legends with the knight and the miner.